Eyes on Corruption, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN presents Eyes on Corruption, a weekly x-ray of social and political issues. Eyes on Corruption, an expose on issues that bother on corruption-related practices in Nigeria. Eyes on Corruption, informative, educative, and enlightening. Eyes on Corruption, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and our website, gcsdn.org. Host, J. Ehizefua Ohali.
Hello, good day. This is J. Ehizefua Ohali bringing you the program Eyes on Corruption, the Nigerian Situation, a program that is brought to you under the auspices of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. We're reaching you from multiple social media platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course our website, gcsdn.org. This program, Eyes on Corruption, x-rays socio-political issues that border us on corruption and corruption-related practices in the private and public domain in Nigeria. And all this we do in a bid to creating a better nation for our citizens, for our children and our children's children. And we do this with all passion, with no strings attached, no reservations in mind, but with a singular purpose of creating a better Nigeria. Thank you as you watch us. Like, share, invite your friends and families, and of course, sensitized by what we stream. Okay, the program today, Eyes on Corruption, and the topic will be how can we save Nigeria from treasury looters in and out of government. We have been alarmed by the many negative things that are happening to our country. We ranging from insecurity of lives and properties, ranging from stealing by public officers who are entrusted with public funds. We have been bedeviled by lack of clues and lack of skills to properly manage the entity called Nigeria by the leaders whom we have entrusted with the destiny of our nation and our people. We have been bedeviled with bad leadership, with one set of leaders outplaying the other, even in bad governance, and citizens are at the mercy of all these. But we still take solace in the fact that one day a leader will emerge that will right the wrongs and make our nation a better nation, a great nation. These are citizens where this is a country where citizens are making waves in various human endeavors all over the world. But within our country, the leadership problem that has persisted have denied us of the opportunity of having a nation that is like other climes, where things are done rightly, where enduring and functional structures are put in place, where governments that is supposed to be a continuum. It's not the same thing in Nigeria. Each successive government comes with plans, projects, and as soon as the government is not in power, the incoming government jettisons that project, no matter how laudable such projects are, and come out new projects leading to abandoned projects for decades and decades, and it springs a stream of continuously abandoned projects from one regime to the other. And we are all at the mercy of these bad leaders who care less about the citizens but only care about how they line their pockets with humongous and bogus salaries, allowances, kickbacks, kickfronts, pilfering from the treasuries to the detriment of the citizens of the nation who are working and toiling day and night to ensure that the nation is great. Ladies and gentlemen, we are bereaved of good leaders, and the time to begin to check that is now. With the opportunity of voters register that came on board, we need to be able to make resounding statements about changing the status quo, changing the narrative for the better, to ensure that our nation is set free from this bad leadership syndrome we have always encountered, and a new nation will emerge where no man is oppressed, where the son of nobody can become somebody without knowing somebody. Thank you, and sit down and relax as you watch our programs. The program again is Eyes on Corruption, a program that explains social political issues that borders on corruption in our nation, Nigeria, where we ask questions and demand accountability from leaders, and we urge you to do the same to all elected representatives and all the positions of trust, even in your church, in your community associations. Ask questions, demand answers, demand accountability. That is the only when we start that from in every community, in every association, in every household, then we begin to imbibe the culture of accountability. And this is the only way we can make changes in the attitude and values of the people, so that it will be culturally inbound in us to demand and give account of our stewardship wherever we are, to demand responsibility from our leaders and those that are entrusted with power or authority, to demand and ask questions and clarifications as at when due. That is the only way to right the wrongs that we're currently in. If we imbibe the culture of accountability, the culture of demanding answers to questions constructively, these are the only ways we can transform our nation, and it will be like in other climes. Thank you and God bless. Please bring up your questions, suggestions, inputs, and share and like our videos. We air videos every day on the situation in our nation. We talk about this program, we talk about budgets. There's a program we talk about the Constitution, know your rights and the Constitution, because it's only the right that you know that you can enforce and demand. We talk about people making waves in every part of the world, face to face, the program that identified trending Nigerians and Africans in all over the world that are making waves in their different endeavors. We have and a host of other programs. Every day of the week we have programs that will meet your delight and educate and entertain you towards building a better Nigeria. Thank you as you subscribe to our channels in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and of course on our website. Welcome back, viewers. Once again, this is the program Eyes on Corruption, and today's topic is inflation How can we save Nigeria from treasury looters in and out of government? Inflation and rise in prices is strangulating Nigerians. The managers of the Nigerian economy are bereft of ideas and have not been living up to expectations. This has resulted in Nigeria's spiraling inflation rate. As reported on May 2022, inflation rate stands at 17.71%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Nigerians are even worse off, with actual price of goods and services in the marketplace that have doubled over the past 1 year. Citizens are in pains from this excruciating bite of inflation and rising prices that are emanating from the spiraling prices of goods and services. The naira is devaluing at an alarming rate, and it is not sustainable. Nigerians are daily going home with little or nothing to show for their hard-earned money. When before they get money, inflation has devalued that money to an extent that it can mix it can mix ends. The money cannot make ends meet. The take home pay does not take them home anymore. A bag of rice is going for almost 40,000 now. A loaf of bread is going for close to 1,000 naira right now. So how can a human being survive under this excruciating pain? But we have our politicians and their words using our foreign exchange to train their sons and daughters abroad, and they have completely abandoned the Nigerian education system and allowed them to collapse. They have completely abandoned the health sector and allow it to collapse. When you get to specialist hospitals and teaching hospitals, you will weep for what is going on in those places. They are mere consulting clinics and death traps, and this is not sustainable. Government is not doing enough to alleviate the sufferings of the poor masses. They are not doing enough to provide affordable health care for all and sundry. They are not doing enough to ensure giant physical infrastructures are in place that can alleviate the sufferings of transportation, of storage of goods and services, of farm produce transformation and processing and storage. These are issues that there is no source, there is no adequate supply of light power to power small and medium enterprises. These are issues that bother every Nigerian, and the government either have become deaf to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, or they are completely clueless as to what to do to salvage the situation. This is no more funny. This is unacceptable. It is even on record that the lives and properties of citizens are no more safe, with bandits, terrorists, and criminals all over the place that have infiltrated the country from outside, with the collaborations of some within. They are unleashing mayhem, terror, kidnappings for ransom, and they are being paid hundreds of thousands of naira, hundreds of millions of naira to the ransom to these terrorists. And even now they are requesting for dollars, thousands of dollars, to be paid as ransom to these criminals. And the government is clueless with all the billions that have been budgeted for military hardware and defense, and these are not making any meaningful impact in the fight against terrorism and insurgents and banditry in our country. And our nation is grinding to a halt, and people are quiet. And even those that manage to talk, they are being silenced in some form or the other. This is not acceptable, fellow Nigerians. We must rise up to the occasion and ensure that this is stopped. We must rise up to the occasion and ensure that our nation is free of criminal elements in government and in private. Let us join our hands together as the 2023 election draws near. Let us make a resounding statement and reject these criminals in power. These criminals in power and those that are on the successive government that have come over and over and their collaborators. We must not fall to their tricks anymore. We must shine our eyes according to the strict balance. Shine your eyes. Thank you and God bless. Watch out for this little video I'm going to play. It will make your day. Fellow Nigerians, the time has come once again for us to toe the path of honor and stand up for our nation. Our nation stands in their need of your active participation to wrestle the nation from the hands of criminals and crooks parading themselves as leaders. Parading themselves as leaders and want to impose themselves on you to further pauperize you, to further bring untold hardship and torment to you and your words, to further destroy the future of your kids, to further destroy the future of your children by their wicked and evil policies and programs. They come with sweet coated tongues to tell you, I will do this, I will do that, but this falsehood in their manifestos, they will never implement them, but they're only there to deceive you. Let us be guided. These are deceptive and evil-minded people who care less about your welfare, who care less about your health, who care less about your satisfaction, who care less about your well-being. They are out for their selfish interests and what they can collect from the coffers of the nation, from the commonwealth of you and I. This must be stopped. We must not be victims for the obtained time to these people that are criminals, that are parading themselves as leaders. All successive governments have failed us, and their criminal collaborators are still trying to impose themselves on us, and they are already outrigging in collaboration with some people in INEC and the security forces. We must shine our eyes at this point in time. No one is more Nigerian than any other. We are all Nigerians, and nobody escorted any of us to become Nigerians. We are Nigerians, and we must stand for our right. We must stand to defend our future and the future of our children from these criminal elements who are bent on wrecking the nation. They are in government, they are also out of government. They steal, and they steal us dry. We cannot continue like this. We must fish them out and show them the way out. We must not allow them to get to the seat of power anymore. Let them be confined to the dustbin of history. Let our posterity will vindicate us and judge us for what we do rightly. And whatever we do wrongly, we will suffer the consequences, and posterity will also judge us. Stand up for your right. Stand up to defend your nation. Stand up to rescue your nation from the hands of criminals parading themselves as leaders. Thank you, and let's go on a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Sadness beclouds my heart to know that song Sonny Okosun sang 39 years ago is still relevant in Nigeria today more than it was in 1983. Poverty has become a stakeholder in the country. Hunger is the breadwinner in many families. Fuel scarcity is now a citizen of Nigeria. lecturers on strike endlessly, health workers languish in embassies looking for greener pasture. The salary of workers remains a punishment for their hard work. The reward of teachers is still in heaven. The dream of an average Nigerian today is to leave Nigeria for any country except Nigeria. We thought we had seen it all, and we thought we had seen the worst until we saw Nigerians gather at Ukrainian embassies on their knees, begging the ambassador to let them travel to fight for Ukraine for the sake of fleeing Nigeria. I believe our founding fathers are turning in their graves. Compatriots, how did we get here? How did we acquire this rickety leadership afflicted with myopia? How did we arrive at this point of emptiness where prosperity is annihilated from our land? We bleed our country for ethnicity, banish humanity to the grazing field where a cow is equal to man. How did we climb this height of impunity from where vultures in high places feed on the flesh of the poor? It all began with a wrong choice we made, of a man with a promise of change when he himself is immune to change. We forgot no man can give what he does not have. That kindness is inborn. Compassion comes from a heart of gold, and entrepreneurship is not for the narrow-minded. It's wind of change. Blew food away from the table of the masses, washed smile away from the faces of Nigerians, tumbled our economy into oblivion, and buried Naira in a casket of shame. But who are we to complain of a cold man giving cold shoulder to his people, believing prosperity is not their priority when we made a choice of a ruler, not a leader? And since the enthronement of Bashoruga, we have shed mournful tears, longing for a leader, not a ruler, who will bring back the days of glory when our national anthem was a prayer. Each verse crafted a master key that unlocked doors in days of uncertainty. Virtue flowed in our veins, love expressed in purest ways, as blades of tribalism could not cut our unity. I long for a leader who understands that commerce and industry is all we need to raise Naira from the dead, not his hatred for foreign currency. A leader who holds the gavel of justice in one hand, the scale of equity in the other, and a living conscience that will not allow him tilt the scale in favor of his clan. A man or a woman who will harness the potentials of youth across Nigeria and not consider their lack of opportunities as laziness. A leader who will not be blind to the suffering of the masses, the agony of the bereaved, who will hear the voice of the people as the voice of God, and not be silent at their agitation when they raise their fists in anguish, in sweat and tears to say, "End SARS, end this disease before it becomes the end of us." My sister, my brother, 2015 was a year never to be forgiven. Even as things no too balance for Nigeria, we still dey waka go forward small. Now we carry steering give person wey no sabi road. Now everybody don lost. So find us a president to pull Nigeria out of this dungeon. A president flowing with milk of kindness, who will feel the pulse of the people, listen to the beat of their heart, and hear their groan behind sealed lips. Find my beloved country a leader who has raised men and women from dust to glory, who has mastered economics to the letter, who built schools with passion and captained industries to the shore of fortune. An employer of labor who understands Nigerians should not be out of job, why small businesses are key to economic development, and how equity and justice are the pathway to peace and prosperity. Find me that man to lead our country out of insecurity and disunity into an era of nation building where we will become our brother's keeper and behold a police station, a place of refuge rather than a slaughterhouse for human rights and justice. Carry my voice to the heavens and the cosmic forces behind the existence of mankind, that I do not seek a president of tribe, of region, or religion, but a true Nigerian who has Nigeria encrypted in his DNA, with a sense of gratitude to see his office as a privilege to serve and a bond to hold in trust. Not the one who thinks Nigerians should be grateful to him for sitting in Aso Rock. Find us a man to lead our nation away from shameful ideology that the place of a woman is in the kitchen or some other room her voice will not be heard. Find a man that gives wings to women to fly with their dreams, so we do not raise daughters whose vision in life is to become wives, and sons who believe women do not stand in high places or sit at the round table of leadership. Find a compassionate leader without bitterness on his tongue. A message of doom must not be heard from the mouth of he who makes sacrifices to the gods. So we need a leader who will not be caught thinking the language a region understands is that of guns and bullets, and his ethnic group cannot be equal to others on the round table of decision. Kindreds from far and wide, lift your heart to the God of hope. Let there be light across the land, for the bridge we build today is stronger than politics. The choice of this day may determine the fate of mothers whose sons are sent to war, perhaps never to return. Fathers whose daughters have been missing for countless days in the den of Boko Haram and bandits. Yonzu, Saudi, tell it in haste, from Ado-Ekiti to Oka, from Buni Yadi to Brass, Calabar to Chibok, from Daura to other places where poverty is ripping our dignity apart. Let it be told that the time is up, reading our story written by men of ethnicity and hardship. The time has come to put Nigeria first and choose a Nigerian to lead Nigerians who will rebuild Nigeria into a country void of boundary, bigotry, tribal rivalry, a nation where the knot of brotherhood is firmly tied across land and sea through unity of purpose of a people who see through clear waters of one identity. May it be so that the decision you make today will make a way for Nigeria to breathe again, for our land to be fruitful one more time. One name, Ahame Funa. May my name not be lost. One mama, Funa. May your name not be lost. When our children's children will hear of this moment in history, that women gathered to turn ashes to beauty, men united to turn misfortune to good fortune, a moment Nigerians demonstrated willpower to choose a Nigerian to be president of Nigeria, whose vision will cater for generation unborn. When a man says yes, his God will say yes. Let us say yes and rewrite